Texas bred tough men, and none came tougher than Frank Hamer. He was to the Lone Star State what Wyatt Earp was to Arizona, and what Wild Bill Hickok was to Kansas. His iron strength was hammered on the anvil of his father's blacksmith shop. His iron will was molded in 40 tumultuous years as a peace officer. His iron character was honed by his struggles against horseback outlaws, Mexican smugglers, the Ku Klux Klan, corrupt politicians, the Texas Bankers Association, and Lyndon B. Johnson. His iron courage was forged in the flames of 52 gunfights with desperadoes. In an era when crooked police were a dime a dozen, he could not be bought at any price. Though a white supremacist of the Jim Crow era, he saved 15 African Americans from lynch mobs. He was the greatest American lawman of the 20th century. Hamer was a son of the hill country, that undulating expanse of live oak, mesquite, and cedar breaks that stretches through central Texas, from the Balcones Escarpment, north and west, to the Edwards Plateau. Rugged and isolated, its rivers and creeks rise from headwaters in the Edwards Plateau and slice through jagged limestone, flowing to the Gulf of Mexico. In the 1840s and 50s, settlers from the mountains of Missouri, Arkansas, and Tennessee poured into the hill country, long the domain of Apache and Comanche. Their battles against Indian raiders would, for generations to come, help define the character of Texans as fierce and unrelenting warriors. After the Civil War, the hill country was racked by civil violence. With fewer Indians to fight, Texans turned on each other. Beginning in the 1840s, feuds between families, neighbors, and political rivals became a tradition in Texas. After the Civil War, animosity between Northern and Southern sympathizers was the cause of feuds large and small. During the 1870s, Texas was racked by infamous vendettas like the Horrell-Higgins feud in Lampasas County, the Mason County War, and, most notably, the Sutton-Taylor feud, the longest and bloodiest of them all. It lasted 30 years and left at least 78 men dead. Notions of personal honor, coupled with an armed citizenry, excessive drink, lack of strong law enforcement, and a belief that social problems were best solved by individuals instead of government, all contributed to the plethora of feuds in frontier Texas. These concepts and conditions continued into the 20th century.